everyone, welcome to a new video. Today we're taking the Ginetta, the little Ginetta, to Watkins Glen short for a newbie track guide. So stay tuned, this is going to be fun. Okay, before we start, a little disclaimer. I am not a professional driver or sim racer or anything. I'm just doing this mostly for fun and trying to improve my lap times and learn new tracks and do these guides for you guys. Alright? I stream every Mondays and Thursdays on Twitch, so if you want to hang out with me, come follow me on Twitch. We also have a Discord that I'm going to leave linked down in the description below. And if you want to see more tracks and more cars, let me know in the comments down below which ones you want to see next. Also make sure to hit the subscribe button and hit the like button if you want to. Alright? So the first thing is I'm going to take you through a onboard lap of the track, my fastest lap. My time I think was a 1:31.2. And I'm gonna show you the raw footage of that onboard lap, and then after that we're gonna come back together to the replay, and I'm gonna show you corner by corner what I was thinking and what are my tips for the track. All right, so here's the onboard lap. Okay, so now that you've seen the onboard lap, let's go together through the replay, and I'll tell you a little bit about the corners and what are my braking points and what are my suggestions for this track with this car. Alright, so let's go. So this is the last corner of the track. By here you should be full throttle in third gear, and it's kind of tricky to get an exit on this one, but I'll show you that later. Alright? So full throttle, full acceleration here. We're gonna get early into fourth and fifth gear. This is a very long straight, and then this is downhill. And for this first corner, my braking point is here at the 300 mark. So on the left side, you see that 300 billboard. I press the brake about 70 or 80% or something like that, just to not lock up the tires. And I shift from fifth gear down to third gear. And then for the initial curve here, or the turn-in point, is kind of like at the 100 mark, or a little bit before that. You start turning the car, you release the brakes, start turning the car, and you want to cut the curve almost a little bit. You almost want to cut the curve here on this track. English. So in this first corner here, you're gonna really go to the inside, but you don't want to cut the curve too much, because if you do, you see there's a small elevation change on the curve. If you go through that elevation change, it's gonna throw you to the left side of to the other side of the track. So don't do that. Again, you wanna be early on the accelerator here, because there's an uphill up ahead, and you're really gonna need the power that this engine has to offer. So turn in nicely, and early on the accelerator for this one. Now in here you can really go over this curve. It's a long curve and it's kind of flat. Just don't go over the yellow line with the right tires, because if you do, the game's going to give you a penalty. Alright, so just keep that in mind. And then for here, this corner, you don't release the accelerator or anything. Just keep full throttle, turn in nicely. You want to turn in as little as possible and be as smooth as you want with the steering wheel, especially with this car, because this car doesn't really have a lot of power. So you really want to be accelerating on a straight line in order to get the most speed that you can, which is something that's going to be more important on the coming corner. So again, little inputs on the steering wheel, smooth and really, really nice. Now when the curve ends here, you see this big red and yellow curve ends. A little bit after that, you're going to want to turn to the left. Again, not a lot, but start turning to the left. Because this is a blind corner to the left, you can't really see the curve from here. But a good indication is when the curve ends. So when the curve ends, start turning to the left. Like so. But don't turn too much. Here I turned a little bit less than I should have. I should have been more to the left side of the track by this point. But you don't want to turn too much because you really need the speed here because there's a long straight up ahead. So you really want to get a lot of speed through these corners. And by here, you should be straight with the car. It's easy to go really wide on this left-hander, and then you have to position yourself to the right-hander. But you really want to be straight in here, because I found that having the car straight, it got me at least 0.2 of a second by having the acceleration on the straight line like this point. So, and for this one, again, small inputs on the steering wheel, let the car slide down to the other side of the track. You really don't want to be putting more than, I don't know, 20 degrees of input on this one. It's really small input for this corner. I shift into 5th gear at this point, but yeah, you can probably shift a little later or a little earlier if you want to. And this part is my favorite part of the track. It's really fun. It's a little chicane that's high speed because you do it in 4th gear, at least I do it. And for the entrance here, I start braking on the 300 mark. I'm gonna be way left on the track by this point. So start braking at the 300 mark, but you just brake a little bit, enough to get you into 4th gear, and then you turn into the corner. So these curves are a little bit tricky. The 1st and 2nd curves, so this one and this one, you can cut if you're carrying enough speed. But the last two, especially the last one, you don't really want to cut it or be on top of the curve, because it's going to throw the rear end of your car really loose, because you're going to be on the accelerator by that point, so you don't want to have a loose rear end. So, excuse me. So, cut the 1st and 2nd if you need to, but not the 3rd and 4th curves, because that's going to really upset your rear end. And by this point, on the 1st curve already, you want to have full acceleration. And from here until the 2nd curve, it's pretty much a straight line. But you really want to turn in your car to get it turning for the next corners. So just right after the curve here, you turn to the left. You see I do a lot of movement to the left. And here, you're going to carry a lot of speed through this chicane. And keep in mind here, I could have gone a little bit wider on this corner, I could have turned in a little bit less for the second curve and be more to the right side of the track here, but because I was carrying so much speed, I just kept to the inside of the curve or of the corner. And then by this point, again, I said you don't really want to cut these curves, but yeah, if you do, be careful, especially the last one. This last curve here, if you cut it, you're most likely going to lose your rear end. Alright, so a little bit here, and then by this point, you're also going to have full-on accelerator. So accelerator all the way, and just keep the momentum going. Keep the steering wheel the same position that you have here. You're pretty much going to keep that for a while here. So correct a little bit. You could have, well, I could have positioned myself a little bit better for this corner. Went a little bit wider at this point, but I went a little bit too much to the inside. So then I had to correct a little bit. But you want to be full on accelerator and turning by this point. Now, I don't really exactly know how to make this corner faster, but from my laps, I realized that if I go wider as I'm accelerating, I make some time. So if I try to control the accelerator to keep on the inside of this corner, I lose a little bit of time. So my strategy here is to keep 100% on the accelerator and try to just ease my car and slide it towards the exit of the corner. Nice, almost touching the curve there on the left side. And then, of course, full on the accelerator here, shift to the right side of the track. And then here, between the 300 and 200 mark, you want to press the brake a little bit just to get you to fourth gear so you can do the next corner nicely. It's a high-speed corner, so don't brake too much here. You probably want to brake a lot, but you don't have to. You can just tap the brakes, kind of have it into fourth, and then early on the accelerator here. I could have done this corner better again. I kind of hit the apex on this one, but my exit was too short, I guess. I was too much on the inside by this point, so I could have carried more speed and just let the car slide towards the curve on the exit here. And then for this last corner that I said was a bit tricky to carry speed through, I tried doing this corner in a fourth gear. I can't do it. Maybe it's because the line that I'm taking, I don't know. But yeah, as soon as you see this color shift on the track, I press the brakes a little bit just to get down to third gear so I can do the corner nicely without losing a lot of time. So a little bit on the brakes into third gear and early on the accelerator again, because this is a long straight to the finish line. And that's the lap. 1 minute 31.2. So yeah, that was my lap. So now let's go for. Now I'm going to show you the trackside camera, so you can see a little bit better how the car was on the outside. All right. So here we are on the trackside camera of the lap. Same lap as before, the 131.2. So yeah, let's go for it. So again, this is going to be on the 300 mark. You're going to brake from fifth down to third gear. Keep it tight here on the first corner. Let the car slide to the other side and early on the accelerator, because there's a big hill up ahead and you really want the most that the engine can make for you by this point. Small steering inputs, and you want to be kind of in a straight line for this one. Still in fourth gear, shift it to fifth right as you're doing that right hander in there. Keep left on the track by this point. Still 100% on the accelerator. This track is mostly accelerator and steering input. You're gonna brake there on the 300 mark from 5th down to 4th gear and do the chicane pretty much accelerating all the time. Try to keep it tight there with as small inputs as you want. In this corner, you're gonna do full on accelerating and again, really small steering inputs by this point. Now early on the accelerator, okay, of course you're gonna be 100% on the accelerator, so just keep it going through here, and then right here you brake just a little bit between the 300 and 200 mark to get into 4th gear and do the corner nicely, and then for the last corner, when it shifts color in the track, you brake and shift from 4th to 3rd to get into the finish line. And that was the Noobie track guide for Watkins Glen with the little Ginetta. Make sure to hit the like button if you like the content, subscribe and hit the notification bell if you haven't already. And I stream every Monday and Thursday on Twitch. This Thursday is going to be a race at this very circuit, so make sure to follow us there and check it out and come hang out with us. Alright, you can see all the links in the video description below. And leave your comment for which track you want to see next or which car you want to see next on the channel. And I see you guys later. Ciao, ciao!